Hey guys, and how's it going? Hey, we're going to continue on this 1997 Dodge Ram 1500 4x4 that came with a plow. Give a quick recap. There is one video already on it. We bought it. It did not run. It's been sitting. I think the sticker says 2017 on the window, so we're 6 years out or so from it being on the road. It has definitely been a plow truck for a while, as you can tell by the rust falling out underneath it. It is never going to go back on the road again. I am trying to make it so that it can plow a quarter mile, half mile dirt trail. So we're just trying to fix it up enough to be able to accomplish that. First video, we had no run condition, and we ended up finding out it was the crank sensor that was no good, which was a pain in the ass because it's on the top of the bell housing behind the cylinder head on the passenger side. Got that changed out, got it to run. Did some other things. The gas tank was falling out of it. Driver's door wouldn't shut due to rust. As you can see, it's definitely needing a little bit of love. You lean up against it and a bunch falls out. So the next thing that we ran into was the transfer case. It has a bunch of play in it. It's real sloppy. You can hear the chain slopping in the case. So I did a little probing ahead to try to figure out what the right chain would be. Of course, when I went to go look it up, there's 3 different ones for that transfer case. You couldn't really tell without peeking inside. So let's get the truck up in the air. I'll show you what I did, and let's get the wrench in. So I started peeking into the transfer case, just trying to figure out what we had. I dropped the skid plate that was underneath it and went to go take the drain plugs out of it. So you can see if you could see the chain itself, which you can through that hole. And when I did that, that's how much oil came out of it. So I don't know if the previous owner peeked in there ahead of time to see what was going on and just never refilled it because he knew it was junk, or that's why the chain is junk, because there's not a drop in it. I mean, like, nothing came out of it. It's not like it had a leak. Like, you would figure there'd still be something in there. So anyway, what I did was go get some tools. So what I did was I took a paint stick and I marked one of the teeth, and then I just counted. I rotated around. If you grab the front shaft, you could rotate the whole assembly. You could even hear it. That's how much play is in there. That chain is beat. So I counted, I think it was 31 teeth going around, and then I had to figure out they have a 1 inch and a 1 1/4 inch wide chain. So I took a pick and I had put an O-ring on the pick. I went in and kind of brought the pick back, and then I pushed the O-ring up against the side of the chain, came out, and I measured the distance in between, and I came up with 1 1/4. Hopefully it's the right one. We're gonna go find out. This is what I ended up ordering. It pretty much was a whole kit, other than the 2 main gears, but it has all the bearings. It has the oil pump that's up in there, and then the chain. Hopefully it's the right stuff. We're gonna go find out. So my idea is we're gonna try working with it in place. I've never taken one of these apart, and I guess we're gonna figure it out together. But I'm gonna try not taking the transfer case down and just trying to repair it up inside there. So we've got to get the drive shaft out, the tail shaft. I believe this is where the oil pump is housed, and then we can get this case separated and hopefully pull away and kind of, you know, get the chain in from there. So the first thing that has to come out is that drive shaft, and we got to block those wheels a little better, because once we disconnect that, the truck can roll, because right now it's at park. So I'm gonna go get another set of chocks on the other side, and we'll start getting that drive shaft out of there. Think she'll crack loose with a wrench? Hopefully. Ah, good. Yeah, they're pretty gummy though. They really shouldn't snap off. They're pretty tough. Let's try cracking another one. Yeah, how about these two? Yeah. One more. Good. You never know what you're going to run into with a rusty truck, right? Remember when I was a kid, I had I think it was a Maverick, I want to say. And I had it on ramps. I popped the drive shaft off, and the car drove over me. So I learned my lesson a long time ago, because this is what's holding you in park. Thought that was going to be the easy part, huh? Let me get a hit with a hammer. All right. I'm thinking of is possibly the load is on it so hard. The cap is still on this side, it hasn't come off. Nope. It's got play in it. It's just rusted in place. There it goes. Not exactly how I was planning on having it come off. As you take them off, you put tape around it. Let me get that out of our way. I'll get that cap out of there and tape it up. What a set of deep impact sockets. Metric. And it doesn't come with a 15, it has a 16. Like, I don't think I've ever used a 16 in my life. No 15, I jumped over that. And let's get them buzzed out of there. Maybe the extension get on there good. There we go. One more. Let's get that a couple whacks. It'll move free. Oh yeah. I wonder if somebody's been here before us. That sealant doesn't look factory to me. I don't know if that holds that in. Let's keep going. Let's go get these buzzed out of it. Hopefully there's not one behind here. We may have to remove this. I think it might have a bolt behind it. Are they smart enough to make it offset? Nope. Alright, go take that out too. Don't strip out on me. Good. People ask sometimes, why don't you use a socket on something like that? A wrench gives you a little bit better feedback when you're going to snap something. You get better sense to it. I can just lift right out of there for us. I don't know about prying on that. That's plastic. Come on. Doesn't thread in or anything, does it? I wouldn't think so. Let's give her a gentle bit of persuasion. There we go. Yeah, it's gonna be probably speedometer. It's like a speedometer drive to me. Alright, now we can get those bolts out. Yeah, bolts are out of that. Let's see if she'll move for us. Got them all, right? I forgot one. That one. Yeah, not a drop is coming out of it. You would think that would be piston fluid right now, right? I don't know what's coming with it. I don't see a snap ring or anything on that bearing. Actually, I see a snap ring on the shaft here. This may have to come off and come with it. Let's go give her a little bit more wiggle. See if anything comes apart. If not, I think we're going to try taking that snap ring off. Right there. Can we rotate that? No. trucks in park, of course. It was even get that snap ring off, and then maybe this will come and leave the shaft behind. Let me see if I can tap on a screwdriver, see if we can walk that around. We can get a better shot on it with the pliers. Come on. A little more. There you go. Of course. Yeah. Gotta go all the way with it. Think that'll pull back now? Oh yeah. It doesn't fit over this. There we go. We're in a little further. And what we got in here? I think that thing was run dry. There's not a drop of fluid in this. I don't know. Again, I think somebody was in here maybe before you even had the truck. Like I don't think that's what it came with. I would think they would have had a gasket in there. Wouldn't you? All right. So what we got now? So this, I think this whole assembly can come right out of there. That's the chain is on it. So what holds this thing is another snap ring right here. I think there's a snap ring here. Then we could take, I don't know if you could see. There's the gear. There you go. So there's a snap ring, it looks like a spacer. And then this is the gear, it looks like it drives the speedometer. Let's try getting that snap ring off. And see if this whole assembly will come out of here, and then maybe it kind of looks like that pump will come off after that. I also see screw holes going around it. I'm going to go look at the other one, see if it's like two different pieces put together. And I grab the other one. It looks like just how it is. There's one piece. Yeah, before it comes out as one assembly. So let's try getting again this snap ring off. Of course, I gotta do the same thing. Tap it around, get that out of there. We'll get this off. Yeah, get on there. Get in there. It's racking. And there's that. I don't know if that's a washer or just part of it. Yeah, just part of it. Another snap ring. Yep. Don't worry about it falling apart, huh? Let's stack these parts over here, make sure I'm not going to screw up the order. How about now? Giving you a reach around, sorry. Come on. Oh, what is going on? I would figure whatever that pump connects into, I'm going to look at the old one. So, the new one rather. I bet you that's like a pickup tube right there that's driving down into something. You get a little light. You think we'd be able to go on an angle, right? And come out. And get a little light, take a peek behind there and see what we got going on. So I went to go pry on it a little bit. I pulled away. I think the tube, I see an O-ring right here. And it just started, things started coming off. Yeah, it definitely looks like it was running with no fluid, huh? So you got an O-ring that goes on that pickup tube right there. What is that? It doesn't make any sense, does it? you would have to be facing upward. Yeah, that's fine. That looks like it's going to be fun to put back together. See what we got for chain play. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, huh? Oh yeah, that thing. We could take a link out of that. All right, let's unbuzz the cover on the outside and see if we can get the case to split apart. Is this going to come with it? I purposely don't look stuff up for. I should probably have a little speech. I generally don't look stuff up to try to figure it out, just for troubleshooting purposes, to kind of keep your mind sharp how things work instead of looking them up and telling them. Kind of like, is the example of you can do math in your head or you can do math on a calculator. Which one are you gonna massage your brain better in the long run? So I bet you it's probably another snap ring. I don't feel anything on that one. All right, let me go get these bolts out of this cover and we'll get that off of there and see if it'll separate for us. Getting there. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, huh? Yeah, definitely say it's been apart before, because only 2 of them had washers on them. And it doesn't seem like any rhyme or reason how stuff was done. And there's definitely a bunch of rust flung up inside there. That was wrong with no fluid. So I think somebody had it apart, maybe put a chain in it or something before, and maybe just never filled it up. I don't know, like I said, it's bone dry. I think we could take a screwdriver, maybe pry right there. Should be one on each side, right? Look for one over there. We get some pry points, see if we can get that to wiggle apart. It's probably got some dowels in it too, holding the 2 halves together. All right, see what we get. Did I forget one? Feels like it. I saw a drip come out of it. Is that a good sign? One of 2 drops is coming out of right here. I don't want to mar up that case. Let me take this. Probably, if you have it out of the truck, I'm sure there's probably like another spot up here that you're able to put something in. Let me try to get it. I can get a putty knife in there. Yeah. Let me eyeball that side, see if we can get a screwdriver in there. If not, we'll stick a putty knife where like one of the bolt holes are. Yeah, see if I can get a little bit of room opening that up. Let's get that in there. Come on. Yeah, it's going now. We're in. Let's see what we got going. We got a filter in there, the pickup tube. Look how stretched that chain is, huh? Wow. We can just take that off by hand. Look how bad that is. The width looks correct. Hopefully it's got the correct amount of teeth. Can we just lift that? Can we get it right off of there without even taking a gear off? It's close to it, huh? Yeah. So which one of these? I would think, I'm not quite sure what holds. It's got shift forks behind it. I don't know if you want to get into that. I wonder if we can get a gear off. If we're able to slide like one gear off, we could probably just get the whole assembly. Let's get a little bit of a pry bar. I need a rag. Hold on. don't know if that's a snap ring. This gear may come off that other direction. I'm going to lower the truck a little bit. I'm going to go take a peek, see if I can educate myself. See if I can figure out what we can split, you know. Yeah, it's got a flange on it, so I don't think that gear can come off. What about this one? I would think this one would be bolted right through to the front drive shaft. Let's give a tug on that one. Yeah. I'm gonna go grab my other chain before we even take this apart. Put it up next to it, make sure we got the correct one. Yeah, they had two different lengths. Look at that. Kind of looks like it. I think it was a 31 and a 36. 36 would be much different. I wonder if like this means something. These two blue teeth. Does it have a master link? No, I don't think so. Alright. And I think we got the right width too. Excellent. Kind of looks like this lower one, like there's a collar behind it. Let's go give a little tug on that, see if that one will move. I wonder also if like it overheated itself, and which would not be a good thing. Worst case, we can look it up, but I haven't given up that far yet. I'm going to get another bar, try to come behind on this side. Oh, there. Pressure there. Let's see if we rock it back and forth, see if it does anything. It probably has to, that whole shaft probably has to come out from the, from the front. Kind of the same idea. You probably take the dry shaft off, it's got a snap ring behind it, and all that. That chain's going to fall right off. All right. All right, we'll take that off first. There. So much for that, right? Wow. Yeah, if they only put a master link in it, we'd be all set. All right, now take a better look at what we got going on. My guess is this whole, maybe this whole assembly comes right out. So it's going to have a high and a low range behind it, and then it's going to lock the front and rear together. So this is going to be our shifter. Shift fork is this. I don't know if we need to put it in a certain gear. Let's go give it a little light pressure. Watch your head. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't want to lose anything now. Uh-oh. That didn't sound good. We're making a mess now. Yeah, so that's going to lock a set of gears together to get you in and out of two-wheel drive. The whole assembly comes right out. That's how will we get the chain on though? Right? Is that going to help us? Well, we can get the chain on this one, drape it on this one. Can we get that in? We're going to have to. I don't see any other way around it. Let's go pull this out. Hopefully everything else stays. There we go. Let's see if we got anything burned up in there. Terrible. Yeah, I mean, it didn't have a drop of fluid in it. I think this is a filter right here. Yeah, that thing. It's a magnet. Get the metal away. What a mess. Huh. Hey, watch this. This falls right off right now, right? We look behind it. There's a snap ring. I don't see anything. I was hoping it was going to break right there where that collar is. That's the front one. It should be able to spin, right? Yeah. Bet you that one goes right through it. Like I said, you got to disassemble that front collar, and this one probably comes off. I wonder if we could be able to wiggle it in there, though. I'm gonna go take a little bit of time and wash out that crap. And this looks like it's gonna be fun to get all the pieces lined back up again, huh? Yeah. I don't know if, well, everything's tied to that. That's probably all. That has to be able to break apart. This and this can't be tied together because you gotta be able to put it in and out of four-wheel drive, right? So the chain has to be able to either output goes right through to the rear. I guess you're looking at the right area. So that would go to the rear drive shaft when you're in two-wheel drive, and then we shift it and we lock these two together, start turning the chain to run the front. And then there's high and low range too. I wonder if we should have marked where that was. Did it go in a certain spot? Alright, I'm gonna go do some cleaning and some thinking. See what we get. Well, I am going to attempt to put all this together the way it came apart. Oh boy, yes, it's gonna be fun. Out of there. Can we get that chain to start on both of those? Like chances are that that's gonna just wiggle right in there. That's not in the right spot. I wonder if I can get that fork set up in there first. How do you look? This thing's literally going to get 200 miles on it in the rest of its life plowing the driveway. So I'm not too concerned with. What did it have for a shaft that went through there that held that? Where did that go? What's that stuck in? I don't know. What held that? Was it in this other side of the case? Did I drop it? Did I lose it? Is that MIA? Alright, what do you say we try wiggling the whole assembly up there again? baby. Is that it? No, that's it. That looks better. We're close. That put up much less of a fight than I thought it was. I'm gonna go see what I do with this rod that goes in there. Yeah, I knew that was too easy because we were missing this whole assembly. That has to go back in there. Yeah, I thought that was too easy. I am gonna go try and work that without you guys watching me. Plus I kind of need to be where you are. I'm gonna try that same thing all over again. I gotta clean this and see if I'm able to wiggle that whole assembly in. Can this rod come out of it? It's got a pin in it. I'm about to see if we could get it up in there and then put this piece in last. Is it really too much to ask for Masterlink? It would have made it just so much easier. I think what we got to do, unfortunately, is probably take this side apart so that this one can come out. So you could start both chains, both gears on the chain at the same time and kind of assemble it into the case. I really don't see another way. I don't know about doing it. It was able to come apart because it had so much play in it, would be my guess. Just now that we don't have that capacity. That stuff looks lovely, doesn't it? So I think we take, split that, and there's probably a nut in the center of it. We could take the yoke off. And there's probably a snap ring in there that allows that to come towards us. I'm gonna go pick my brain a little bit more and kind of futz with it before I do that, but I think that's the way we gotta go. They're gonna crack loose. There's two different sets of bolts on it, so it's been apart before. There we go. Put vice grips on it, try to keep the shaft from turning. You can't get a socket in there. I want to see if we get it to crack. Maybe you can see, like, that's got like a different head on it than that one. And that one oddball one has the edge all rolled over on it. And I don't have a 6-point. Remember what I said about 16 millimeter? Never using it. I'm afraid it's going to strip out on me. I'm trying to figure out which one's a little tighter. A 6-point wrench would definitely come in handy here. That's 16, too sloppy. Let's try it. Sigh of relief. You know that's gonna suck to try to deal with. I have a feeling somebody shoved a non-correct bolt in there because it's like it's stripped in there, you know. I'm gonna take my time to try to get that out of there. Yeah, definitely been meatballed. I said that's the original style right there. You see the difference in the head that's on it. Sometimes you speak a little too soon. Here's another one over there. That's the 16. That's the 5/8. She's jumped over it. hopped on that one too. Yeah, that's why like I need a 6 point, but somebody's already rounded it off ahead of us. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna have to go buy a 16. Worst case, what we could probably do is take a plasma cutter. We'll just cut the head of it right off. Get this out of the way. This flange will be in our hand. Then we can just get rid of the rest of the bolt, put a new one in it. Let's see if this one's got a little bit of a bite. Why wouldn't they make a ratchet wrench 6 point, right? If it's a ratchet wrench, you don't need the 12 point for the adjustment. It's gonna go. Now it's gonna spin right over it. I can already see it going. I gotta go. I can't turn it back now. That's that. Schnookered, I tell you. I'm gonna hunt for something 6 point. Maybe I could make something. Maybe we take like a 6 point socket and we can cut it and weld something to it to get a turn on it. I don't know yet. I'm gonna see what I can come up with. It's a 6 point socket. We could rotate it where this is up on top. Not gonna give us enough room. Oh, now I did it. If we can get on it with a swivel. Problem with it, all that starts getting sloppy. And the worst case, we can cut the head off. Let's go try that. Let's go rotate the drive shaft because it's on an angle. The shaft right here isn't square. This hub, this coupler right here, if you're looking at it going the other way, it's pitched down on an angle, so the bolts up on top have a little bit more room. Let's get that, loosen the vice grips up and spin that up top. And I can be able to see. See if I can at least get the socket on it. If not, then we know we're screwed. Socket's on it. Yeah, and we tried getting a something up above there and come from the top, see if we can get it with like a swivel extension. You know what I'm talking about? It's a thing called a swivel extension. I don't know if I have one. And what it does, it allows the head of the socket to have a little bit of a pitch, a little less than like a the actual swivel. The problem is they're kind of weak too. They will snap off if you put a bunch of pressure on it like we're gonna go do. I don't want to go put heat on it because it's a U-joint. I don't want to bake the U-joint. Yeah, I'm not seeing one. That might be one. Yeah, there you go. See the swivel? How it's got like a taper to it? Here, I'll throw a socket on it, you see what I mean? Yeah, so if you go and you put a socket on it, it gives you the capacity of racking the socket just a little bit. Enough room to get around that. So let's go see if this will get us up around there and be able to get that to crack loose. No idea what you can see, and I have no idea what I can see. Got to get it where we got some room for the ratchet to move too. We could probably put like an impact on it. I'm not gonna have any swing with this ratchet. Let me get another extension. Try to get this out just a little bit further. Problem with using more extensions though, it gets, you get, I want to call it weaker. You get more spring out of it. You don't get a good snap. Let's try this. Come on, crack for me. Yeah. You see how much flex? Now you're bouncing around. See how much flex is in that though, the more extensions you use. Your best bet is no extension at all. If we're trying to break something loose. Yeah. Let me reposition. I'm going to work on that a little bit because you guys, I want to try to get my hand to support this on this side and then pull down on this side, but you guys are in the way. Suck your fat head in. I'm gonna see without that other extension if I can get, I got a 1/2 inch impact. Get up in there. We can loosen that up. We'll get it where we want. See if that'll do it for us. That's a no. Try it again. Same thing with impact too. The more extension you have on it, it loses its performance because of the springiness of the extension. I suspect I'm going to break something. Well, let's try getting an air gun up in there. Hope I'm going the right way. Nope. There's your problem. I think it just stripped out. Gotta get it? Yes, no? I'm gonna say no, but oh. Who's your daddy? Alright, we ain't putting that back in there. Got close to the edges on to get rounded over. Okay, get that drive shaft to break free. Just not a tad rusted, huh? Probably going to come and drive that flange off of there from the other side. Rusty old cars. I gotta get that nut off of there, and then that flange can come out of there. I'm gonna see if I can guess I'm gonna tie this up out of our way. I'm not screwing with it. Now it looks like it's just gonna fall right out of there, doesn't it? A little bit of a fighting chance, I guess. Go find a 6-point socket for that. What size that is? Snug. We beat it with a hammer. I say we go right for air power. The compressor's all the way up full pressure, so it's got all the beams. Let's see what we get. Oh yeah, gotta hold it from turning. Feels like it's turning slow. Can't see a thing. Some light on the subject. Try and watch that right there, see if it's turning. Can't see. What are we doing? I don't know. feeling of victory. Yeah, you're bouncy, aren't you? A little loose on your feet. Hopefully that just falls right out of there. And that allows us... all that crap, huh? That O-ring? That's an O-ring. Left of an O-ring. There! Let's go get that out of there. Kind of questioning the... watch your toes. Questioning the quality of that bearing right there. Oh no, that's good. Alright. 2 steps back, 1 step forward. Now we can go and try to go play with getting that chain on there all in one piece. Alright. Do you think you will be able to leave this one where it is and get it? Huh? Was that the secret to the puzzle? I do believe. Well, that would make life a lot easier in the future. You could leave all this alone and just take that one out. I think it's still out of here though. I'm trying to find a plastic hammer or wrapper with. Oh no, it's all the way in. Alright. I'm gonna eyeball, make sure I got everything right. Still got some plates. I wonder if that's like the play of the gears or that's what it's supposed to have. Definitely a lot better when it was hitting the case. And you know. We were able to figure it out. Yeah. Plus too, you know, there's probably, when the case goes on, it kind of pulls things a little bit more taut that way, you know. It's just floating, it's not supported by a bearing yet. Yeah, that's what it is. How much tighter it gets once it's lined up with the case. All right, I'm going home, go eat. And for you, it's gonna be 30 seconds. We'll pick right back up. But for me, I'm good for tonight. My back's killing me. Trying to get, making sure, so that'll be 4-wheel drive. It's locked in. So that'll be 4-wheel drive. It's locked in. These gears are in back, so if I push this in, it should go back in the 2-wheel. I like the way that rubs a little. So make sure I don't have anything wrong. I take it all apart, put it back together, and then got an issue. Could be just that that's like that too. I do know if the spring has to be on here to probably hold the shift fork, you know, take the play out of it. Yeah, that's probably all it is. And that's not driving the 4x4. It's not spinning the front drive shaft. Where'd that spring go? Yeah, that would push a lot of pressure on that fork to keep it that way. I do see it's got like a little nylon on the fork. Let me try, I'm gonna eyeball, see what I have in that kit. That'll take any play out of there, you know what I mean? The spring's got a little cover that goes over it. I greased it up. Hopefully that'll hold it when I'm trying to put it together. Line all the bearings up. We didn't forget anything. Now's the time to say something. If I did. Then go get a little mallet, give her some love taps. I'm not sure how we're going to have to, the oil pump has to go on, and then the oil pump looks like it locks onto a the piece that's here. It's kind of key to this, and it has to go onto that with an O-ring. So apparently it does just have 2 washers, and those bolts go just where the pry points are, when you pry the case apart, and the other ones don't get washers. Why? I don't know. Make sure you get that oil pump on there. And that goes, so it's got an O-ring on a hose there. That's got, we gotta try to get that. You see how this pump works? It's really kind of cool. It's like a wobble pump. You can see how it wants to kind of shutter. Well, that's held in place. And it runs, you're not gonna be able to see it. Down inside there, you can kind of see the crushing orifice where it squeezes the oil. Yeah. So now we got to get that pickup tube on there. So that looks like fun. Who invented that? That's a great idea. I am going to lower the truck a little, I think. Try to get with a pick behind it. I know it kind of leaned pretty far when I took it apart. It was totally on an angle. I hope I don't have to, should I have put that on when I was putting the case on? I am going to screw with that for a little bit, and I'll let you know. So because there's no bearing support here, the shaft has some play in it. So I was able to push it up, plus the wobble of the pump. I was able to get enough to shift it up, get in there with a pick, come up behind and rock it up in there. Now we got it. I'm gonna go clean this one up. Gotta go silicone that and get that one on. Actually, we gotta put a snap ring on. That gear has to go on for the speedo, and another snap ring, I believe. Actually, didn't it have I gotta look at what I got. I believe it had a collar on each side of it. I'll have the pieces lined up. Yeah. So it's got to go like that. Has to go on there. That front drive shaft, remember those 2 bolts? Oh yeah. I'm gonna replace those, at least the 2 of them, with a couple of new ones. It should hold about 2 quarts. I would think it's gonna perform much better with fluid in it. The chain, I bet you, will last longer. I think it's just automatic transmission fluid is what it uses. I'm going to fill that up until it starts pissing out that hole. I got it. Everything else is hooked up other than the skid plate. All the drive shafts are in. The sensors are in. But then we got to go look into something going on over here. All right. And hopefully it doesn't piss out anywhere else. So I'm kind of questioning the health of this transmission mount. The reason why I'm saying that, other than the fact that it's all rotten, rusty, and the rubber's poking out the bottom of it. I would think that between here and here, the rubber would be centered. Almost looks like the whole thing just kind of shifted over. Let's get a jack. We'll put it underneath the transfer case. We'll lift up on it, and we'll see if this separates or if it's still stuck together. Nice, see if we get anything out of that. Yeah. Sometimes they have like a metal hook inside. Even if they blow apart, they kind of stay captured. I'm saying that one does not. Well, that's gonna be an issue if you're plowing, huh? Take an air gun. I'm gonna blow some crap out of here. Oh yes, I am. So we get that to shift over a little. Get in there. It's like a big mouse trap. She feels pretty clean. This is glue. Strong stuff. Can I get it up there? Oh, don't stick yet. Yeah. Two of them. Suck if the jack failed right about now, huh? One more across the front side and we'll let it down. Alright. Now you can say, you've seen everything. Good push on that. Whoops, watch your toes. You're saying to yourself, you really gonna leave it just like that? Come on now. Let's go metal shopping, shall we? So we are looking for, it's kind of light. You could bend something. Oh, here we go. Oh, that looks pretty sturdy and steel. Well, that one. And that one, let's go grab them. Alright, will that make it? Yeah, I think if we cut it right there, we get two of them. We could hang one there and one there. And can we get right, tuck it right in there. And right in there. That should do it. We'll clean up these surfaces down below here. Buzz them on. Ain't going nowhere now. Well, while we're under here, kind of wrapping things up, look at the power steering. Looks like it's got a decent leak. I don't know if it's that hose, but one thing I do see, looks like that is not in the center. See how it's like favoring the left? Let's go put a pry bar on it real quick and see if there's a bunch of play in here. That or it's just maybe this hose is pissing, which I'm hoping for. Yeah, that's a good place to get on it. Let's push right here for now. I want to pull down on this arm. Nah, looks pretty decent. Let's go wipe that hose off. See if I can find the leak. That's the low pressure side, I believe. So I don't think it's much of an issue as far as it's not like it's a hydraulic line, you know, it's just a it's probably right at the clamp. I think I'm gonna, it's got one of those clamps that you crimp on. See, that actually looks like it's rotted, huh? Can you see? I'm gonna cut that off, pull it down, and probably maybe what I'll do is even cut back some of this loop that's on here. We don't need all that. We'll kind of inspect it. Maybe we'll cut it back and refit it on there. Yeah, let's go try that. It's not my fault if you get something in your eye. Let's see if that even went all the way around. Yeah, I think it was rotted out on top. Doesn't feel like it had much pressure on it. Maybe the chances are that's going to come off of there. I'll get my little trusty hose puller. You ever get a strange feeling? You get punched in the face? Yeah, it's on there. I don't think that's where it was leaking. That's too tight. If that slipped right off there, I'd say it'd be an issue. A lot of times it cracks right where the fitting is. Right where the fitting stops inside the hose. Yeah. Let's get rid of that tie wrap. I think we should leave it. And he said he had a power steering Something with the pump was leaking. No, I'm kind of remembering it. So I wonder if it's like leaking out of the side there and it shot against the hose. I'm going to throw a hose clamp back on the one that we just cut off. And we'll keep an eye on it. So what's the over-under on those brakes? I think I'm going to hit them one time. They're either going to go to the floor or they're going to stick in the on position. Alright, I'm going to go work on the battery, set that up. I'm going to chase a couple of little smalls and we'll set her down on the ground and pop it in gear, see what we get. And just for those who are wondering, I took the rack system that was on the back of that, cut it up and put it on my Tundra. Tundra's a little bit smaller, but it works out pretty good. That back one can slide all the way forward. Toolbox, I'm not going to put on there because I need the space in the bed. Alright, I took 3/4 of a gallon of antifreeze, filled up the power steering fluid. I couldn't see anything in the reservoir. I think it was pretty much empty altogether. Got about 2 or 3 gallons of gas in it. Don't know if we have brakes. I'd say we move the gray Tundra out of the way and we'll fire that up, see what we get. I have not driven this thing yet. So we have a gas too. Oh, I should not start. Worried me for a second. Like I said, I put like 2 gallons of gas in it. Power steering's not happening, huh? Brake light's on. I don't think the brake is. Let's go. Hit the brake pedal. It goes pretty low. See if it'll pump up. You can't see anything. I should brought a light. Goes down like half. Pop it in gear. Got reverse. Let's just drive it off. I don't have the rants on the lift. It's rolling still. Okay. It's driving over the rust. Wouldn't say it's stopping all that great. Let's go. It's definitely strong arm. We got no power steering. I don't know if it just pissed everything out or it's starting to go. Let's give her a little burp of the throttle. Alright. It feels like we got no rear brakes. Might have lost the rear circuit. Let's go. That hasn't moved in ever. Should have worked on that, huh? There it goes. It's not the transfer case, it's the linkage. Oh, initially. I'm gonna put you down for a second and try getting her in a 4-wheel. We're in 4 high, and it definitely feels that way. I can feel the wheels hopping. Can't see that one. So the one on the other side's probably spinning. Yeah, I can hear it on that side. Definitely gonna need to go spray. It's out of 2-wheel, 4-wheel. Yeah, you can feel the front doing its thing. So we got ABS light, we got a brake light on. Brake pedal goes decent. Actually sounds like it's missing, huh? Good thing about when you put it in 4-wheel drive, you get brakes back front and rear because it's all tied together. Yeah, it sounds like it's just piss and fluid out somewhere. It'll be a tell on the second. Alright. Again, we're just trying to make this thing so it yard drives. We're not trying for any kind of take her down the highway kind of thing. Drive around the building. We got for gas gauge is working, oil temp's okay, pressure's okay, it's charging, water's got to come up. I'm not crazy about that. RPM's going up. We have minimal brakes, what's the push? Let's go boot her on a straightaway. Goes pretty good. Just get her to stop. Okay. Yeah, you ain't got shit for brakes. See how we are in reverse. Alright. Let's go bring her back in. See what's going on. The power steering. And see if we see brake fluid pissing out of it anywhere. Ah, yeah, strong arm it. I can see fluid on the ground. It left its DNA. I see pink. Alright, she's up on the lift facing the other direction. Let's see what we got. Oh my! Yeah, it's definitely pissing out of somewhere. Constant, huh? My guess is it's probably coming right out of the center of the pump. Doesn't that suck? Yeah. That's beat. Definitely not that hose. No soft leak's gonna fix that one. Let's see what else. Is that a seal that's actually just hanging down? What is that we're looking at right there? Sure. Yeah, that might be beat. Let's go see if we can figure out what's going on with brakes, if we see anything. I was hoping to hang the plow on it. It'll push a little bit of snow. Transfer case works. Again, we got to free up that linkage. That all has to get sprayed right there. It's all binding up. I would think the brake line going to the rear somewhere would be our issue. Is that brake fluid or is that water? Hard to tell, everything's so wet outside. You'll feel up in there, see if there's a brake line up there. No, that's not it. That looks suspect right there, don't it? Yeah, that's where it is. So that brake line is toast. It's dripping down. See what the other side looks like. You see that one's dry. They both need to be changed. I'm not that concerned about that right now. They're just a couple of hard lines. That's not that big of a deal. What we need is to find out what's going on with that power steering. I don't think that's going to be for another day though. Doesn't that suck, huh? What's it take to turn over to manual steering? Yeah. Be nice if it was a hose. Does it look kind of wet up there too though? Maybe it's leaking out of there. I'm gonna dump some more fluid in it and we'll give her a quick little peek and see what we get. Actually it's looking like pressure line right there maybe. Let go. You see that? Right at the end of the fitting there. Hard to say, everything's so wet. Let's go dump a little bit more in there and we'll fire it up and see if it's pissing out. That'd be better than the body of it, right? Alright, see what we get. piston straight out of that. Actually, it's leaking in 2 places, I think. Leaking on that hose I put on there. It's leaking in 2 spots. It's got a little pin leak in that copper line, and the one that I put a hose clamp on is leaking too. Sorry about the shaky cam. Yeah, so it's pissing right at the end of that one right there. And then where the hose went on, it looks like there's a leak in the metal line that we put the hose clamp on, and going up metal line up about that far, there's another one shooting out of there too, it looks like. So that one is leaking, goes to the pump. The other one goes to the rack, to the steering box. Alright, so I'm going to try shopping for that. Oh man, trying to get that fitting out of there. How's that going to be, huh? That's going to suck. I was trying to think if possibly we can cut that fitting back, but I don't think we got enough metal to work with. I may just go chase some parts. You got to do some hard lines in the back, and of course that power steering issue, built-in undercoating. Everything else seems to be okay. I don't see other than that, everything's fine. It's any coolant leaking. Seems like it runs good. Full drive is functioning. Again, I gotta work on that shifter to get it into low, but it's already going into high, so that's a good sign. And some fresh gas in it. I'm sure it's gonna probably run a little bit better. Well, I would have liked to have definitely gotten the plow on it and tried pushing snow with it and check those pieces out, but I am somewhat happy with it. I expected a bunch of crap, you know, for an old rusty plow truck, all corroded underneath, to have issues. Again, the brake lines, no big deal. They're the back 2 hard lines. Power steering, I'm kind of glad that it's not the pump and it is just those lines. I'm sure they're gonna fight me to get off of there, but my thought is if we get new lines, we just cut the line off and put a socket on it and get the fitting out of there. I'll chase those on eBay. I'll see how much they are. Hopefully not terribly expensive. If not, I'll come up with something else to replace the high pressure lines. But for this one, guys, I think we're gonna go call it. I don't know if I'm gonna make another video on this truck or not. I've since bought other crappy junk I want to go play with and wrench on, so we may or may not. There's not too much more to go chase on this. You know, who knows what happens when we put the plow on it and see what's going on with that. So no promises on seeing this one again. Some of you are saying thank God. Alright guys, with that we're gonna sign off. Well, thank you for hanging out, doing a bit of wrenching, and we'll do it again next week. Until then, I'll see you later.